I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the town board meeting, October 24th, 2024. Can I have a motion to open the town board meeting?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We have two public hearings on the agenda tonight. First public hearing is going to be on our preliminary budget. So can I get a motion to open the public hearing, public preliminary budget hearing 2025? Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any comments from the board? So I'll just give the public a brief synopsis of what we went through. It was a little bit on the more difficult side this year. You know, the plan is the two budget offices this year, one leaving, so one's taking her place. They have the duty to go out and speak to everyone in the department heads and go through their requirements for the up and coming year. Ask them what they're looking for, lay it all out in a format, and then deliver it back to us. Christine would then take it and put those numbers into a spreadsheet, and you hit return, and that big red number of negative 27% comes up. That's where we started. We would have raised taxes by 27% to give everybody what they needed. Totally not going to happen. So the erasers came out, and we all started working diligently. We got it down to 10%, and I'm happy to say after the last go around, a lot of hard work and a lot of gray hair, we got it underneath the cap of 2%. So we're looking at an increase of 1.94%, 1.93% for the town, and a decrease in the village rate of 1.04%, which means for a town resident in 2024, tax bill of $1,214.93, they're going to see an increase to $1,238.32. The village is going to see a reduction from $317.77 to $314.46. We normally don't like raising taxes, but it just, with the increase in insurance this year, both liability, workers' comp, and health insurance, it was just impossible for us to say, to not have to raise it. Again, I'm happy to say, I don't know if we had last time we went through a process with Standard & Poor's, and we are again a AA+ rating, so it allows us to buy money or get money cheaply. Any comments from the public on it? Any information you'd like to see or talk about?
Mike's on,
Good evening, Chris Healy, Town of Goshen. I'd just like to say thank you to the supervisor and the board for doing an incredible job of keeping it down. Those numbers are nothing short of shocking to start, and then even more shocking where you wound up. Fantastic job by all, and I thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.
Joe, we didn't have, one of the items, we didn't have benefit of mortgage tax like we would normally have it.
We had a reduction, Christine, of what, 300,000?
Yeah, I think we budgeted 400 this year and 300 for next year.
So nobody's
And the
buying
high end
homes.
was like 800,000.
Yeah.
Can't afford the interest rates.
Anybody else?
Can I just ask a question?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I just have a question. Neil Howard, is it possible to get the budget put up on the website just so we can see it?
It's up.
It's up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you very
it's
much.
under the budget office.
Okay,
It's right there.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you want a copy? Have a copy?
Yeah, sure, I'll get a copy. Thank you.
Anything for you?
Yeah, right.
Just curious, why does the village and the town have different tax rates? Like, what does the town get more than the village? Like, what
Christine, you wanna answer
services,
that?
like that?
Yeah, the tax base is different. For the village tax rate is based on taxing all residents, town and village. And that's for, things like town hall, assessor's office, budget office, supervisor's office, highway garage, things like that, and also highway equipment. Town only, which is the, just taxes the town residents, is police department, building and zoning, senior center. So you're talking about two different tax
So it's
bases.
kind of split up between the
Exactly.
two, but it's not exactly even fishy chicken.
Right.
Okay.
And it's the-
Thank you,
the-
I had no idea.
Yeah, both parts of the equation are different numbers.
And village residents pay taxes to the village also.
We certainly do.
No kidding.
Yes,
We
Neil?
certainly do.
Neil?
I'm sorry, Christine, did you just say that senior centers only, town only?
It's town only, and then we bill the village 50%
Yeah.
of what's remaining.
Any other comments, questions? All right, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Now we need a motion to adopt.
Right.
Sorry.
I make a motion to
Right,
adopt.
no?
We're not.
We're not.
No, it's preliminary.
Right, because we still have to go over the water sewer budget.
The water sewer portion, right, but the town, village portion is done.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Next public hearing is the continuation of the revised introductory law number 10 of 2024, amending chapter 80B, solid waste management of the code of the town of Goshen to update provisions related to existing facilities. I have a motion to open that meeting.
It's already
Oh, it's
open.
already open, I apologize.
Continuation.
All right, any new comments from the public? Sue?
I don't understand the new law, I'm sorry that it's been done, because to me, it looks like it's still gonna let Alteray landfill, IWS, and I can't remember the property that's up on the corner, the mulch facility, open up to taking new facilities and exempt from the law. Why do we want Alteray landfill and then to be exempt?
Why do we want them to be exempt?
Well, it's saying that, anything in operation
Correct.
is exempt. So if somebody wants to go into Alteray landfill, they're gonna have to probably go out part of the road. They're gonna be exempt from having to, won't they? That's why I suggested putting in current facilities that are in operation, accepting municipal solid waste, because obviously Alteray landfill doesn't fall underneath that, and neither does, Orange County does.
They do, yeah.
But, the one on the corner that's taking mulch is a solid waste landfill, and it's in the I zone, so all of those, that's my concern. I don't wanna see this opened up, I don't think anybody in Goshen wants to see it opened up.
Of course not.
Nor do we, yes.
No, nobody.
So I don't-
I thought it resolved it, but I see your point. I mean, basically you're saying if somebody comes into Altuari, since it was an existing facility, they can now reopen it to start taking in municipal
Yes,
solid
and
waste.
here's a copy of,
But the DEC closed that in 1970.
they're still open, they're under a consent order, so they're still operating.
I didn't know that.
Here's a copy of what I think was sent to Rory. It was
I forwarded
five,
it, I forwarded it on.
yeah, it was 5 words, and I don't think it's a lot to add, but I think it protects.
I did receive that, Sue, and I did
Okay.
forward it on. I think-
Okay,
I think,
thank you, I'm not trying to blame you,
I
maybe
didn't know, I
here's
didn't,
a
I
better
wanted you to
way.
know that it got over there. I can't say
What happened?
what happened beyond that. I was on most of the calls, but I was not on one of them, so.
Well, I appreciate your
Yeah, no problem. I
wording.
asked.
Just take a look at it. I don't have a problem with the comments,
No, I don't either. If that's the
I have no
first
problem
word,
with it, but it'd be me coming in,
I understand.
I know it's a
Kelly
little-
drafted the law, I got you.
Yeah.
so, and I'm not putting that on her. I just don't want a Monday morning quarterback to beyond what I've already done.
And I don't know about the facility on the corner of the mulch place, I mean, I don't know if that's considered solid waste, it's a solid waste facility under DEC, so.
But what they.
I just don't-
I thought that
They're above ground, what they do, they chop
It's
trees
any
up and
solid-
then sell it.
Any solid waste facility. I understand, but it's been reclassified,
Okay, but they're not, what I'm saying, they're not burying it and all that stuff, they sell it. Okay.
hopefully. So anyway, that's my concern.
Yeah, oh, that's.
We've been
that's
through
a-
enough of those landfills.
Absolutely, we don't want any more solid waste, that's for sure. Yeah. So we can continue this public hearing until we get that language in there, Chuck,
I'm
right?
speaking to Kelly as of right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Neil wanted to speak again, I guess.
Yeah, Neil.
Thank you.
He's on the-
I think some confusion might have been made by Sue. I think that the Altori landfill is in fact considered to be operating still, but it's not accepting waste.
Correct.
So I think there's two different things, really.
Right.
Yeah, right, so I think that's the question there. And RVH is by definition of the DEC, a solid waste facility, and I can't explain.
Which one is?
RVH, and I can't explain what their logic is, but
Yeah.
by having so much mulch or stuff there, they become a solid waste facility. However, once that material leaves their property, it's no longer solid waste, and that's the state's law, but that's the way it really is written. Okay? So that facility is considered by the state to be a solid waste facility, and in fact, they are registered with the state right now as a solid waste facility because of their operation. They are not accepting, they're not burying garbage or anything like that, but that's the DEC's definition. So when that material hits your property or hits your house, it's not solid waste to bring in there, but that's the way it is. Thank you.
So were you able to get to,
She hasn't responded yet, she's in the town board meeting.
yeah?
Let's just keep it open
So
and
we just,
move
we
on.
just keep it open and
Yeah.
she could look at the language and advise us whether or not we should do it.
Yeah, I think the problem is they can't move on through the planning process, and they've been delayed, and I guess there's a certain amount of time they have to get through the process.
So leave it open for now and see if she responds during the meeting, and you can just table the agenda item until, you know, as long as the meeting's going and.
All right, very good.
Yeah. So we'll table it.
I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, does anybody else have any questions, concerns? No, okay. First item for discussion is authorize Attorney Brady to prepare a draft resolution of conditional approval special permit for SR 94 LLC Solar Project Lightstar. Bird?
Yeah, we've done a number of these, if you're all familiar, I think Pulaski was recently, relatively standard, so as far as, the planning board has already put, has issued a negative declaration through the secret process. And I know, at least Phil, you've always vocalized that you want the town board to be, you know, have all the information,
Yeah.
the proposed information,
Right.
all of it, or at least as far along as it can go. So
Yeah.
they're at that stage. I have a majority of it's pre-drafted, so I'm just looking for authorization, and then I'll put it in front of everybody to review and the supervisor to sign off.
Okay. So what do you need? A motion to do what?
I just need to go to a vote to
Yeah,
authorize me.
motion to authorize Attorney Brady to prepare a draft resolution, conditional approval, special permit, SR 94 LLC, Solar Project Lightstar.
Second.
Roll call?
Sure. I don't think it's necessary on a resolution, but.
No.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Cantorino, aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
Just help me out there, man. Well, they know you're going away.
Next item on the agenda, schedule an informal public hearing on Thursday, November 14th, 7 PM for the Water Sewer District. This has a couple of things that we'll be doing that night. We'll be talking about the ban that we need to take out for the Hamiltonian/Heritage green sand system, as well as the rates associated with that, correct, Christine?
Right, but the ban is also for the work at Scotchtown.
For
and
Right.
the work at Scotchtown also.
the work at Arcadia.
Correct.
For, High House.
High House, yep. So could I get a motion to schedule a public hearing? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Review and authorize the supervisor to sign the host community benefit agreement with IWS Transfer Systems of New York Incorporated. I think we went through this. I think, Phil, you had a couple of questions on it. If Kelly answered most of your questions. If I could reiterate, they're going to be paying us $200,000 for the arrears, which they didn't pay 5 cents per ton. That 5 cents per ton does not equate to anywhere near $200,000. I think the number is actually about $35,000 they would have paid us over 14 years. They're giving us $200,000 in the arrears, and they're giving us $1 per ton moving forward. That dollar per ton will be going into B fund,
Town clerk fees,
to
yeah.
help lower the taxation for the rest of the town. Any questions?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so I had voiced my concerns about the IW waste. I see we have the host fee, and it's a decent host fee. Obviously, I'd like to start off not taking any of the C and D waste at all, but that's not realistic.
Well, they won't be taking any C and D. They're just taking municipal solid waste. They're looking to eliminate the recyclables and just make it
I
all
understand,
municipal
but
solid waste.
Municipal, they'll have C and D waste in the municipal solid, in the municipal. So I understand that, but no, there'll also be C and D waste that will come in, right?
Not on there, no.
Not on the municipal waste?
I mean, unless
You tell
somebody
me
throws a cinder block in their garbage,
Well,
maybe,
yeah,
you know.
okay.
But for the most part, the C and D that comes in will not be dumped into that facility. That is strictly for municipal solid waste.
Okay, so let's talk about that anyway.
Mhm.
So, on the municipal waste, they were operating without a permit only under the understanding that they had, that the DEC issued a permit for 600 tons per day, 600 tons per day with 70 tons per day recyclables, okay?
Correct.
So, I understand that if we ratchet them back to 395, we probably will get sued and lose because we've allowed them to operate for so many years. But what I feel is, and I'm not sure about the rest of the board is, I don't know what the DEC has said on the new additional 70 tons that they don't want to recycle. But I feel very strongly that we should only allow them the 600 tons that they were allowed and make sure that they recycle the additional 70 tons. In other words, I don't want it converted all into municipal waste. Now, I know that you had mentioned at one time that the recyclables only come up to 6 or 7%, but that's not really accurate. The plastics come up to 6 and 7%. You also have containers, milk containers, cartons, cardboard, all kinds of other recyclables, and frankly, the recyclables in the United States come up, in addition, if you added all the recyclables and the municipal waste, the recyclables come up to about 32% of municipal waste. So, currently, we recycle in the United States 690 million tons of recyclable waste out of 290 tons, or 380 tons, 290 tons of solid waste. So I'm thinking we're going the wrong way. I think we should encourage more recycling rather than less recycling. So I'm okay to stay with the DEC permit that they had before for 600 tons of solid waste and then plus 70 tons of recyclables. The agreement reads a total of 670 tons just of all municipal waste without them recycling. So, I mean, that's how I feel.
Just chiming in on, I guess, procedure, not on the substance of your statement.
Yeah.
And I know Kelly, again, this was one that Kelly kind of had the lead on, but I think for the purposes of tonight, or at least the process, they still gotta come before the town board for at least portions of the contents contained in that agreement. And I think specifically would be something to that effect of the breakdown, which would still have to be approved. But that's my understanding. procedurally, that there's still another step that the IWS folks would have to come before this board for said permit, or at least their application. But I don't wanna, I'm not trying to confuse it more than,
Just for clarity, if you're asking me
yeah,
to approve
I
the
understand.
supervisor signing a host agreement that allows them to have 670 tons of municipal waste with no recycling,
Sure.
I'm telling you that I'm not.
I
So,
understand.
you know, I mean,
I-
that's pretty simple, so I'm
Yeah,
not making it
I
convoluted, so.
understand.
Yeah, and that's me, that's just me.
So I think we only, the ADB that we supply them would just mimic their 360, so they have to get that approval from the DEC, who controls all of solid waste, they're the Solid Waste Authority for New York State. So we would not, if they got a permit from the DEC, it's my understanding, if they got a permit from the DEC that says they're able to collect 690,000 tons of municipal solid waste on a daily basis, our ADB would mimic that. We can't now impose on them that we want to.
No, it's not my understanding. My understanding is that whatever the town allows them to process as solid waste, be it 300, 500, 700, then that's what, and the DEC could give them 1,000, and they would have to adhere to the town code. That's my understanding.
If I can ask, from who?
Yeah.
I'm only going by what I'm being
Well,
told, so.
I'll ask our town
I-
attorney.
but to be honest with you, it's.
I think our law supersedes. Go ahead.
I don't know the answer. Again, I have my thoughts on it, but Kelly's been, and I probably shouldn't even have chimed in, I just
Right.
wanted to. So I'm gonna sit
Yeah.
out on this one, unfortunately, because it's been carried by someone else, but
But I think our code supersedes the DEC's permit. That's why, as a matter of fact, I have done some research on this, and it doesn't work in the reverse. I mean, if we allow them more, the DEC allows them less, then they can only bring in less. If we allow them less and the DEC allows them more, they can only bring what we have allowed them under the permit. That's my understanding.
yeah, I mean, generally, that's the,
That's the research
DEC
I've
is a
done.
superseding body over the town, so you can
Right.
restrict less, but you can't grant more. I mean,
Right.
that's generally the way.
They could never come to us first for a ADB without
Right.
having a 360 in place, so that in itself says the DEC supersedes us.
Don't,
Well,
No?
they don't supersede us.
they,
They can't supersede local law.
well, I can tell you that I'm not comfortable
Unless-
giving an answer on it, so I don't know how to
Okay.
guide you beyond letting me go get the answer or having Kelly chime in,
Yeah.
because it's,
I'm only one person on the
No, no,
I
board.
I think you both can be right on this, but I think the way you're presenting it, Phil, about the restriction is correct.
Yeah.
So
I think
but I
so
don't
too.
know.
I've done a lot of research on this, so.
So back to the original conversation that we had starting out. Actually, the contract reads that it's 670 tons
Right.
per day of municipal solid waste and CD.
I know.
I see that.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just supposed to be just, you were saying it was just, or
It should be.
Joe was saying it was just municipal waste.
Right, I know.
And it says CD as well.
I said that. But
Right, that's what I'm saying, the court would normally reject the local law over the DEC.
Yes, if they're, but,
That part, the last sentence.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you can go less than that, you can't go more than that.
yeah, I mean, the current permit, I said, it said, and they're accepting C and D waste because it says here that that's, it's in that host fee.
yeah, I think what the C and D portion of it is what you alluded to, that somebody throws something in there that is not municipal solid waste, they throw rocks or bricks or something in there, it gets captured in there, that's why they have an allotment for it, but I know that their value there is on municipal solid waste, they're overloaded with municipal solid waste.
But it says they can accept municipal solid waste and C and D. So
Up to 600
if someone wants to bring C and D, and I tell you, we have fought for 30 years, because people used to bring it in and bury it on their own land, And we would send Neil out, if you remember, I mean, we went to court on all of this stuff, we just don't want C&D waste. This says they can accept it. So they could accept half of the 600 tons of waste could be C&D based on this thing. So, I mean,
You know, they take that waste and it's shipped directly out. I mean, I don't know if that means anything to you, but it's shipped directly out. Most of their stuff goes to Newark now. So
No,
they take
I-
it all out. It's not like they're taking that CD.
no, but they're bringing that waste in, they're processing it and shipping it out. And that's toxic. I just have to tell you, my brother died of mesothelioma, asbestos. And so I'm really sensitive to any kind of C&D waste and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, I doubt very much they're taking in any of the asbestos.
Well,
Asbestos
whatever
is-
C&D waste is, it's toxic. I'm just telling you what. But I'm not gonna fight this thing, I'm just telling you
No,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying.
no,
So
I'm trying to
just
get clarity in
move
my
on.
mind,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just,
Yeah.
I'm trying to read this and then input what you're saying in there
Yeah.
and come up with a conclusion, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the first thing is, that I have two issues. The one was the C&D, but the other issue was, I understand that we're locked into giving them 600 tons of municipal waste plus 70 tons because we've allowed them to do it for 10 years. And if we tell them they can't do it, we'll probably get sued, spend a lot of money and lose. Do you think so? Yes. So I'm saying, well, I'll take 3/4 of a loaf. I'm gonna keep them to 600 tons of municipal waste, and they're still gonna recycle, do the 70 tons of recycling. I mean, that's how I feel. They just can't have it all.
Yeah, they haven't gotten that approval from according to this, they haven't gotten that approval from the DEC yet.
Yeah, right, I don't know what they're gonna approve. Listen, this may, the DEC may only say that they can only do 400 or 500 tons. I don't know.
Well, how do we get the answer to this?
Kelly is just unable to respond to me right now, so the only thing I can do right now is just hold this up until the next meeting.
Okay.
That's what we'll do, is we'll hold it up until the next meeting.
Yeah. And I'm not pushing you or anything, because
No,
I made,
I'll get it, I'll get a legal determination from the
so what
DEC.
I'm saying, I made this, that was my approach, and has been consistently. I was not happy with this. When we were on the call, I voiced.
That was the call I wasn't on, and so I can't even regurgitate
Well,
those, unfortunately. I don't doubt what,
Yeah, no, I was referred, and I just want the board to know that I'm not just sandbagging anybody. That's been my feeling right from the
No,
beginning, and I
understood.
voiced that, so,
understood.
you know, just.
All right, so we'll hold it up
Anyway,
until we'll hold it up until the November 14th meeting. I'll get a determination from the DEC. I'm gonna be in Albany on Monday with them. I'll get a determination from the DEC on Monday. All right, next item on the agenda is motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the proposal for engineering services submitted by John Petrosini, PE. The grant for the pool that was given to us by Senator Skoufis requires us to do initial engineering to determine the site and specs of the pool to be submitted back to Crest, I believe it is, who's giving us the money. So I went out and found what we believe is the top pool engineer, PE, in the county. He's been recommended by multiple pool companies, Royal Pools, a couple others. He presented a proposal, and you guys have a copy of that proposal. I don't know if you have any questions on it. It's 3 phases. The only phase that we're obligated to is phase 1, which is when he puts all the documents together for submitted to, and then we move on from there.
Which is $5,000.
Correct.
Yeah, I got a question. Is this gonna be, well, first of all, Scopus gave us a grant for this, did he?
Yes, he did.
How much money is that?
$740,000.
Did we ask for that, or is that something he just said, here?
So we applied for the
Last
New
year's.
York Swims grant.
Okay.
We were rejected only because the time frame that we had to prepare the grant wasn't sufficient to get everything we needed for the grant. But the senator told me to go ahead and put it in anyway. Let's see if we could sneak it through. It didn't get snuck through. When he delivered the bad news to us that we didn't get it in my office, he said, but don't worry about it, I have money in Crest, I'm going to give you $750,000, which was what you allocated for the cost of building the pool. You will have to do the engineering and any of that stuff on, on your dime.
The next question I have is this part of joint rec where it's gonna be paid part by the village and part by the town?
It's to be determined, let's say, yes, I'm not sure if it'll go into
Because
joint
there's the
rec.
operating, I just don't know about the operating costs and all that.
We don't need it, that's all part of this. They put this all together first in the engineering. It may come back where it costs each resident $1,000 a year to have a pool, and then we say, no, it's not cost effective.
Right,
But we don't know that until we get the engineering done.
right.
But last week, you hadn't heard about it, and I think we need to hear about what's it all about, the planning behind it and so forth.
Well, that's what the engineering report's for.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just preliminary, has nothing to do with accepting the grant, not accepting the grant. It only has to do with authorizing the PE to deliver us a package which determines what our cost is going to be, what the cost for the residents is gonna be to operate the pool, picking a location for the pool, and there was one other item. There's 4 items that he has to do in his initial presentation.
But we think it's gonna be maybe over on Erie Street?
No,
No.
it's gonna be in the town. It'll be Craigville Park or Knoll Road,
Oh, okay.
one of our 2
Got it.
parcels.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no room in the village for the pool. Let's see what Kelly has to say. Give me a second. Any other questions? I'm sorry. Rick? So,
No.
do I have a motion to approve supervisor to sign the proposal for engineering services?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the October 10th town board meeting.
Minutes?
Minutes, yes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? I abstain. I wasn't here.
Yeah. Aye. Excuse me.
All right. Finance. Discuss and approve the motion to authorize the supervisor to pay accounts payable check run for October 24th, 2024 in the amount of $113,380.87.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Discuss and approve a motion to authorize the supervisor to pay manual AP run of September 30th, 2024 in the amount of $36,846.30.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Review and approve the request from the Budget Office Cavalier to transfer $23,584 in ARPA funds to B General Town Funds and to transfer $200,000 in ARPA funds to DB Highway Fund only. We're clearing out the ARPA money that we have remaining into different budgets to be utilized.
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Aye. And then information only attached, Budget Officer Cavalieri submitted the AP run for 10/10/24.
Right. Good.
Okay. Prior to opening up the floor to the residents, I just want to answer one of the residents' questions when I wasn't here. So there were some questions that were brought up about the LPRs, the license plate readers that we have around the town and what their purpose is, and I guess the question was, why wasn't it approved by the town board? It wasn't approved by the town board because it was approved by the legislature. It's Senate Bill 5525A, authorizing any town, village, county, police department to put out license plate readers around the town, around their municipality, for the purposes of collecting data for not residents, but criminals, people that are wanted, cars that are wanted. The data is only stored for 90 days. and it hits a database in the county for all police departments to look at it. It's my understanding from Chief Post, I think we've already captured 2 people because of it. One person was stealing gas from the stewards here in Goshen for the last couple of years, and we finally caught him because of that. The other question part to that is why didn't the board approve funding for it? Well, we didn't fund it. At the time, Deputy Chief Faust wrote a very deep and informational grant request, and the DOJ, we were one of only 2 towns in Orange County that got the DOJ grant, and we got by far the most money anybody in the country, of $490,000 for everything that goes into that grant, which is license plate readers, the speed signs that you're seeing around the town now to slow down, like there's one on Old Chester Road, there's one on Arcadia Road.
Yeah.
They're effective. I mean, I know I speed
Yeah.
going down my road, so I know it's effective.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But to the point, I understand the concern with license plate readers, and I can assure you that nobody is, this is not Big Brother watching you. We could care less where our residents go. It's their time to go wherever they want to go. But this is informational data that is helping us target criminals, period, making us safer. The other issue, well, we talked about it before, it was talked about by the pool. The pool, as I said to Doug, Senator Stoof has presented us with a grant for the pool, hasn't been approved yet, nothing has been approved on it. We don't have to take the money when we get to the public hearing, the public is dead set against this, we do not have to take the money. It was granted to us, but we don't have to take it for the pool if we're not gonna put the pool together. Those were the 2 questions that brought up. I just wanted to make, sure we got it out there to answer those questions. At this point, I'll open the floor to the public.
Bob Smith, Goshen. My point about the license plate readers and the grant was just because you get the money, or the state may say you can do it, doesn't mean that we have to impose it on our residents.
We don't get to vote on it, that's my point.
Well,
It's a state law.
So the police chief puts in for a grant and he has to fulfill that whole grant.
Correct. Whatever was documented in that grant is what we have to buy, only what we can buy. License plate readers were a very small portion of the 490,000. There was a lot more equipment.
Yeah, but like you say, it's a big portion for personal freedom. For instance, I mean, why do you have to hold the data for 90 days? If my plate doesn't hit within 10 minutes, dump it.
And I'll get that answer for you, but I know it can hold up to 90 days. I don't know how long we can.
And it goes into a national database.
No, it goes into a county database.
It's limited to the county?
To the county, yeah.
Well, that's a little bit better, but still 90 days is too long.
That's what the license plate readers can hold up to. I will get that answer for you, Bob. I don't know how long we hold the data for.
And are you aware that there's a 10% error rate in the license plate readers?
There's also people now that you're selling online, you can see it, you put the stickers underneath everything, and it blurs out everything, so.
Well, yeah.
Criminals are coming up with things, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, you put something on your plate and going down the street, any police officer sees that, they can give you a ticket for it.
No, the new things right now, if you look online, it's actually clear, so it's a clear sticker that gives, so let's just say your license plate was 1, 2, 3, 4. You buy these stickers, 1, 2, 3, 4, they go over the 1, 2, 3, 4. To the human eye, you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4. The minute a camera hits it, it blurs the whole thing.
Well, that even makes my point about the 10% error rate.
Correct.
You know, because if you're one of the 10%, and then your plate goes into the database, and then a stolen car comes in, it could be your plate that reads incorrectly.
Well, it could
And
possibly be.
Yeah, so.
Absolutely, could possibly be.
Yeah, but it's 10% out of
that person's
100
not gonna-
cars, 10 are gonna be misread.
Okay.
That's a lot.
But.
How many has the chief reported so far, do you know?
He sent in his report that night, we had 37,000 in the first 24 hours. 37,000 plates that we read in the first 24
That's
hours.
tremendous. We're only a town of 20,000 people. And we have 37,000
Yeah, but it's
plates
not,
in 24 hours.
but we have non-town, not
I
residents
understand
traversing our
that.
town.
I
We're a major
understand that.
thoroughfare.
I
So they're
understand.
sitting on 17, they're sitting on 17M, they're sitting on 86, 207,
Not the plate readers.
yeah,
The
everything.
town plate
They're
readers,
sitting on the back of the police car. You see it on every single police car, sitting on the back of the cars.
I'm talking about Town of Goshen Police Department.
Town of
They
Goshen,
recorded 37,000,
on the stationary and on the police cars. We have them on
but they're
both.
not on 17. And the stationary ones aren't on 17.
They're on our property, on our town property, correct.
Correct. So they're
But the
not.
police
getting-
cars have them on the back of the cars. You'll see them on
Right,
all the
I
cars,
understand.
village, state police.
See, I never understood all. I thought I had plate, a few years ago, I had plate readers, you know? And when this first came out, you know, this is a pretty new area of law, these plate readers, and invasion of privacy and stuff. But one of the arguments of the Association of the Chiefs of Police were, when the police get a hit on this, you know, if they're out on patrol and they say, okay, we got the plate reader hit on this car, they're responding in an enhanced mode.
Of course.
They're expecting felony criminals to be in that car.
Potentially.
So if you are part of the 10% that they misread, and all of a sudden, you're surrounded by 4 or 5 police cars with their guns drawn, we'll see how inconsequential it is.
I do what my father told me to do. Raise your hands.
Yeah, that
What'd you
doesn't-
do? You raise your hands.
that- But a felony police stop is not that enjoyable or,
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the extreme. I don't think that,
no,
you know.
it's not extreme. There's
Somewhat.
lawsuits all over the country.
Supervisor, why don't we have the chief post how?
Sure.
and then have
How
the
about I do that?
Have the person.
Well, I tried to go over and see him, but I got jammed up, so.
I'll have him attend the next meeting for
That's
the
a great
purposes of
idea.
talking about this. I want the public to be comfortable. I do.
Absolutely.
I was a little uneasy when they all first started coming out, because you're right, that things can happen. But in seeing what we've achieved and what the county has achieved in what the data that's come out of there and the criminals that have been arrested because of it, I think it's a positive thing for the residents of the town of Goshen to keep them safe.
Yeah, you know, it also can be misused within the police department. Personal grudges, I don't know who has access to this. Do you?
The data, I don't know, no.
I don't even know how they get access.
It's data that goes from my
That's
understanding, it's data that goes from the,
Yeah.
what?
Have the chief come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will, I'll have the chief
Yeah,
explain
you
it.
can answer all this.
All right, good, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, just a reminder, limited to 3 minutes on the, or 5, I don't know what.
As Chris gets up.
I can speak very Chris Healy, Town of Goshen.
Let's just say nice things, Chris, then it's unlimited time.
Yeah, to start with, on item number 3 tonight, we did speak about the host community benefit agreement with IWS. I would like to say that I strongly support Councilman Cantorino's thoughts and convictions to hold IWS to a 600 ton per day. It really only makes sense that the town be in control of the tonnage that is going to be traveling on our roadways. If the DEC says they can take 1,000 tons a day, but our roads will only handle 600 tons, that's our lives that are being affected. So, again, I support Councilman Cantorino's thoughts on that matter. On item number 4 was the pool. I am expecting that this $5,000 report will include annual maintenance, payroll, and a future cost to this endeavor. Do we know what it'll be? And can we ask for that?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay. And I say so because for those that weren't here about 20 years ago, the Goshen High School was being rebuilt, lots of grant money. There was talk of a community pool.
Yeah.
There was really no appetite for it whatsoever.
Right.
And it was pennies on the dollar that we were getting it for. I do fear that if you put this out to the general public to say, would anybody like a pool? Everybody raise their hand. Sure, we want a community pool. But the nuts and bolts of it, the nuance behind it, the annual maintenance, the payroll that goes along with it, the insurance of having a community pool, especially in the day and age where so many people, if you want a pool, you pretty much got a pool in your yard. So I am looking forward to the discussion, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a whole lot of appetite for it. And I would ask the board to consider that even if you do hear a whole lot of yes, if you hear a whole lot of emotional yes, that's not a business decision. So let's think about where this thing's gonna be in the future.
Sure.
I was also going to suggest that we ask the chief to come and talk about the ring of steel, as he said. Everybody wants to catch a criminal. Of course, today, it's a slippery slope. Facial recognition, what's the next step? I look forward to speaking with the chief and asking some questions. I hope that you'll set that up so that not only is he going to maybe give a,
It'll be a public forum.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
so that we can ask some
Yeah,
questions.
Yeah.
We're gonna treat him nice.
Gotta
Again, thank you all.
He
Also,
he has an angry look in him, don't worry.
I would like to thank,
Can I ask you, if you do have questions, if you could submit them to me, so the chief can be prepared beforehand,
what a great idea.
okay?
And on that, I would like to thank Town Clerk Mary Rizzo today. I had some questions. I sent some emails. I received very quick responses. I've always
She's
respected.
going on vacation tonight.
That's it. We'll shut the town down. You can't do anything.
Mary stacked the room, man.
There it is. No, I think.
Oh, no, look at
There's, I know that a few people have, you know, we're always asking questions, and Mary's always very quick with the response. I appreciate it. As are the officers upstairs. I've always had very good response from everybody in the building. I thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Neil?
Thank you. Obviously, I didn't get the budget until tonight, so I just have a couple of questions for explanation. On the townwide budget, for real property taxes, we jumped from 379,000 to 905. Why 905,000? What are we so optimistic about?
I'm sorry, could you
I'm
repeat
sorry.
that again?
Yeah, on the townwide revenue budget, it talks about in 2024, we have budgeted, and apparently we got $379,484. We're budgeting $905,337. What are we so optimistic we're gonna get that much more for?
Christine?
Well, we're not optimistic, that's what we're planning to collect in taxes.
I understand that.
Right, but we're
Oh, so
trying to
you're gonna
build
get it
up,
anyhow, because
but
you're
we're
target.
also trying to build up the A fund.
Okay.
Because if you, under the expenses, we put in 150,000, I believe, in contingency.
180,000 in contingency.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
No-
also, as the supervisor said, a lot of the expenses have gone up. Liability insurance was a big increase, and
Right.
retirement.
Okay.
So,
Good. Another question, payments in lieu of taxes. We had that listed under the A fund and the B fund. I don't quite understand what the difference between those are.
Some pilot agreements, for example, Amy's Kitchen and Legoland, they are charged the tax rate on a lower base. So when you charge them the tax rate, part of it is A and part of it is B, because they're in the town.
Okay. All right. The tax on hotel room occupancy, is all in A?
Yes, because we charge town and village hotels, hotel tax, so it has to be A.
All right. And then host community fee, we have that also in A and B fund. That's the same
The A one is
explanation?
Legoland, and the B one is IWS.
Okay. Why is all that going to A if it's on Legoland? What's Legoland have to do with the building?
So we are discussing right now, so that when Legoland host agreement came into play, as I understand it, nobody knew what to do with it, so you asked Rick Golden, the town attorney at the time, for a position on it.
Yep.
And his position at the time was that it should go into A fund, townwide. He has since said, after me explaining to him that we have police and that we pay taxes on, he has since said, then you could adjust that and Legoland would re-sign it for you, it wouldn't be a problem. And that's what we're looking to do, in a 25% split.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sue?
One suggestion, on one hand, you guys are talking about doing something with a tax cap because we need to raise it or whatever, and then talking about a pool. I'm really glad to hear you guys discussing it. One thing that bothers me is our taxes are obviously getting high, but there's also the place with the pool, the sports place on 17M, I forgot what it's called.
Match point.
Match Point, thank you. Why can't we just get together with Match Point and say the Goshen residents can get a discount or something? it might save, and just think about this when you're looking at the expenses with a pool. One, I don't think we need a pool to be competing with Match Point, their business in Goshen. And two, it might save everybody money if Goshen residents can go there at a less of a price and save everybody across the board.
Something to look at, for sure.
The other thing is, I just heard, did you get approved for the hotel tax?
We are collecting hotel tax, yes.
I didn't know it got approved, congratulations.
It's up for renewal, yes.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
it is, yeah, it's every year.
We're renewing now, we're renewing next legislative, we're gonna collect about approximately $1.1 million this year.
Wow, nice.
And any Airbnb that ever somehow gets an
Yeah.
MBTA under that,
Cool,
Yep.
nice.
if it ever.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Steve
Hey,
Ben,
Steve.
Court Goshen. Two quick questions. Did we ever get back an answer on the weight limit of Gate Schoolhouse Road? I know Maria brought it up and a few other people. I know even Doug had mentioned he had an issue on Houston.
We got the speed limit, they said no to,
They
right?
said
No.
on Heritage, I haven't heard back on Houston, but I was not on the communications regarding the weight limits. That went to Mike, NOCDPW.
Yep.
I forget his last name. That was from in-house.
Mhm.
So I don't have an answer on that. I
get
can
you
check
an
with him tomorrow. I mean, I talked to the guy, right? I'll get you an answer on that.
No, I appreciate it. There was a
My-
big truck just the other day. I had to maneuver back and forth just to turn onto Gate Schoolhouse
I
Road.
believe, actually, I think Broad, it,
Wasn't it? 1 ton? 5 tons?
5 tons.
It's
Five tons.
It's definitely fine.
Well, you'll
Yeah.
see these 35-ton trucks on these roads.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I'll
in
reach out to
fact,
Mike.
Yeah, I got,
Okay.
I
yeah.
was on 6.5 Station Road and I see two trucks coming in, and they had they took a house and split it down the middle. So I stopped them. He said, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
I got a permit from Albany. I said, "Well, what about Goshen, New York?"
Yeah.
So I called the 911 center as they went on. By the time police got there, they were gone. But it's abused all the time.
It is.
And
They come out of,
someone's going to get hurt, particularly these school buses.
Yeah.
Like at Houston
Really
Road, we have
is.
4 subdivisions.
Yeah.
These tractor trailer trucks and double axle, triple axle dump trucks. I'm in your corner. We got to start giving them tickets, posting what the speed limit is and the tonnage and.
With us, it's the signs on the road,
Yeah.
so they can't see it before they turn.
We had the same thing on Houston
They move
Road.
it?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did move it, it is now at Maple and
Love it.
Kate, with Mary Rizzo's.
I got a straw man to get it back.
And one last question, this is just guidance here. I know there's a big crack that keeps expanding on 17M and Gate Schoolhouse Road, so if I'm coming down east and making a right onto Gate Schoolhouse Road, that corner there is a crack that keeps expanding, and cars are like, oh, my car hits it all the time. Any road-
17 in Gate School,
17M in Gate Schoolhouse.
State Road.
Nothing we can do with it.
Oh, we take
Complain.
Senator Scoopus.
Yeah, we take the pool money.
Yes, all right, well, thanks so much.
Solid waste.
I will, Steve, I will ask Broderick Knoll to send a note to the DOT on that.
Thank you.
Just circling back on ADB, Kelly wrote a note back to me saying that no, it should be the language that she provided to the board. The language that's currently being asked potentially does not allow IWS to operate. From a legal perspective, that's what her position is. So as our attorney, she's saying that the law has to stay the way it is. It can't be changed to what Sue has asked us for. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna either postpone it or you guys want to discuss it with.
Well, any of the closed landfills would have to come before the town board anyway, if they wanted to reopen. So we would
Yeah.
still have control
They're-
over whatever they did, even though we passed this law. we would still have control over any, I mean, I can't imagine Torrey opening again. I mean, they've capped it and it's just not gonna
It's a
happen.
toxic landfill.
It's a toxic, yeah, it's just not gonna happen.
Well, I mean,
And the one that's a compost, right? The one,
they just paint, if one understand, they paint compost, yes.
yes.
So, I mean, anybody that's familiar with the solid waste law in New York State realizes that New York State will never, I'll repeat that, will never open up a landfill again.
And we won't.
They're aiming harder and harder to expand them,
Yeah.
let alone open them.
And we won't here in Goshen, the town board will have control.
I'll leave it up to the board on what they'd rather do, if they want to adopt the law as is, that Kelly did it, or you'd like to speak to her, we can hold it up until the next meeting, entirely up to you. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, she said that, you know, what she has in there does exactly what they're asking for, which, it only allows for existing municipal waste companies that are in operation now.
You have wording that says like Altor is exempt, or anything you can do like that?
It's not, this is not about Altori, Altori is not in operation. This is only a facility, it's technically IWS. They're in front of the town board right now to expand their facility, so I'm glad to come up, and I don't want you to get upset about it, so, I mean, if you.
No, but Altuari is in operation. They
It's-
have a permit from the DEC. They have a consent order for being in violation for not maintaining the landfill like they have. I don't know how you don't think they're in
Well,
operation.
when you say, I guess we need to determine what operation is. So they're in operation to remove the methane out of there, to either flare it
And the
or.
leachate and to upkeep the
Correct,
landfill.
correct. But they're not-
According to the law, that's in operation.
But they're not in operation to take additional municipal solid waste. Can we agree on that?
Correct.
Okay, so that being the case, what would our concern be? They have to stay in operation to get all the methane out of the ground. They have to flare it out, and they have to. No? Yes? Okay.
I think, I'm sorry. I think one of the concerns is that there have certainly been in the past discussions about opening up another treatment plant there at the outdoor landfill to start bringing in leachate and treating the leachate there from various landfills. I think that's the concern
That could
right
not
now.
happen.
I hope not, but
Yeah.
Can I say something? You know, as an environmental manager in DuPont Chemical Company, this is serious business. There's probably 100 different toxic materials in that landfill. Okay? Now, if you really want to go, I saw it last night for the first time, okay? If you go on not Facebook or what? It says-
YouTube.
YouTube. It's Garbage, Gangsters, and Greed. 60 minutes, this film. It was put together by Middletown High School. And they talk about not Goshen as much as they do other parts of Orange County. Before the DEC was put in place and the health department was put in place in 1970. And some of these, like Altuari, was started in the 1950s. And when they sold it to the gangsters, they put all kinds of stuff in there with no record of it. So we are sitting on parcels of land with some real bad stuff in it. That's all I'm saying. But
So-
watch that.
No, I
So
I'm not-
let's get clarity, clarity on this, because I agree with you. It's an operation, the leachate has to be pulled out of there.
Yeah.
As we're all aware, there's a problem with the seal on the landfill. I've discussed this with Neil and the ERB. There's no bigger person screaming to the DEC than me. I call them once a week, I got Senator Scoofus involved, I got Congressman Marr involved. You know what you get? You get deaf ear, you get nothing.
I understand.
You know, you deal with them, you send letters to
I
them.
understand all that. My fear is another company coming in and saying we're gonna open something up. It's gonna be between 10 and 50 acres. We're gonna open up another transfer station. We're gonna open up a sludge facility that's gonna make pellets. We're gonna open up a leachate treatment plant.
And that-
Why open the door for this?
And then at point, you come back and you rely on your town board to say, no, we're not issuing a special permit.
Are
And
you
if they
asking
do,
me-
then you vote them out. Because nobody wants it. We couldn't be any clearer that we're not gonna allow it. But you're asking us not to change a law to benefit an
No,
existing.
I'm just asking to put in the law for for facilities that are currently taking solid waste.
Taking
And-
some.
I don't think
That
that's
might work.
anything,
She's
but
saying,
your
it
attorney,
can't,
I
taking
understand, it feels differently. So
she,
then
she's
come up
saying,
with
she's saying,
something else to put in that will,
what is she saying? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get her, and she's texting me, either she's watching it or. You know, for the purposes of clarity, let's just
Yeah.
hold it open until the next meeting,
Yeah,
and we'll,
let's do
we'll
that.
get,
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get Kelly to come since she wrote it,
Right.
and we can put this thing to bed, but
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. Nobody is arguing for the upkeep of Altori more than I am, to the point where, you know, I am screaming at Kelly Totoro on a weekly basis that they're doing nothing. My estimate is there's probably 1.5 million gallons of leachate sitting on there now because of the crack in the seal. There's a plan in place, as I understand it. I'm on the phone on a weekly call with Ryan McClune from Nexamp and Brian Cutler from Tamis on it because they're doing the seal work for Nexamp. There's an agreement in place for Nexamp to fund the closing of the seal of the cap and pull out 1 million gallons of leachate with the DEC backing it. That's where we are as of today. There's still a lot more that needs to be done out there. Those flares need to be going. We understand that. I understand that.
But you know, I think the federal government is holding a huge reserve.
DEC has it.
The DEC has it,
$4.5
right?
million.
$4.5 million.
Yeah, they said if you want to, if the
So-
town of Goshen wants to take it over, they'll give us the money.
No, I mean, in order to do the work that had to be done is what I'm talking about.
The way it works,
Stuff like
is
that.
the owner of the landfill, TJ Milo, has to spend the money. Once he spends the money and submits the bill to the DEC, they reimburse him out of that super fund. They won't put the money up.
That's how it works.
So it works with
So
TJ
if-
Milo.
So if he won't do it.
He doesn't have the
we
money
should
to
be
do it.
able to force we should be able to force someone to go in and do it and take the funding out of the DEC fund. I mean, that's what that reserve is there for. So, I mean, well, what do you do if someone doesn't clean up their land? Eventually, you have to go the legal route and someone will, you know, from outside will come in and do it. If Milo says, no, I'm not gonna
can I
do
say
it.
one thing and then I'll.
So,
Gotta come up to the mic.
That's an environmental
Yeah.
justice and a DAC area. There are laws that say the DEC cannot ignore violations in
Right.
an environmental justice area. I think they were passed by Clinton, they're special laws. I think somebody maybe needs to bring this up to the DEC and say, look, that area's got so much pollution, it's been made into a
Yeah,
DAC
that's
area, and it's environmental justice. You put this off for, when did they get the consent order, a year ago?
To do
Maybe
what?
more.
So I brought up the environmental justice portion with the DEC, and they begged to differ on your opinion on that. I brought it up. You said it, I brought it up. He said it's not in an environmental justice area. There's nobody in there that's underneath nobody in that area that is underneath the medium income for Goshen. The only medium income for Goshen presides in the village of Goshen.
Okay.
I'm telling you what they told me.
You're right, the DEC has a lot of confusion within their own system as to what's right or not. There's no doubt about it. You talk to the left hand, it gives a different answer than the right hand. But there's no doubt about it, everybody in the site center.
You wrote, I wrote a letter to the DEC. The ERB wrote a letter to the
Yes.
DEC. Did you get a response?
No.
Yeah, neither did
I understand, I'm not disagreeing with you, Joe.
So if it falls on deaf ears, there's not much we can do other than just try to protect our, try to protect our town, and force whatever we can get done to be done there. Next ant coming in, it's solar, but if they fix the cap and they take the leachate out of the landfill, I think that's a positive thing for the town of Goshen.
Certainly a step forward.
Certainly step forward,
Maybe
correct.
the answer is go to the EPA.
So, is the solar company involved in this?
Next ant, yeah, solar company.
Wow.
They're funding the whole thing.
Wow.
They can't start until the cap is done.
Right.
They can't start fixing the cap until 1 million gallons of leachate comes out of there.
Right.
So it's a timing issue for them. Yes,
I mean, they gotta reach the point of diminishing return financially, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, well, I
They-
know.
they-
we've
they
been
just
back.
can't hear you,
I
I'm
know
sorry.
that
No,
I
he's
picked- I know I
doing it
picked the one
not you.
person that, I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
That wasn't because of the compliment.
You're done. Toast, you're done.
I can't believe it was you that got,
Is there an agency above the DEC that could bully them into doing it?
yeah, Governor Hochul, have fun,
That's it?
that's it.
There's no other, like, environmental protection agencies, there's
That's a
nobody else?
federal agency. They are the environmental conservation
Yeah.
for New York State. There's
So-
5 regions, we're in region 3.
Does it help if
Kelly
any of us
Couture
pull
is-
them, and, like, is there
Sure.
anything?
Oh,
Yeah. If you like listening to on-hold music, it's great.
I gotta tell you, if I'm behind something, I'm
You,
devoted. Like my
if
sign.
more and more residents in the town of Goshen, okay, constantly continue to call the Region 3 office that there's a potential issue here, maybe they'll react. They're not reacting to me, they're not reacting to the congressman, they're not reacting to the senator. You get an answer back that says, I send an email saying there's 2 million gallons, I calculate approximately 2 million gallons of leachate in that landfill right now. They send a letter to TJ Miles saying, you gotta start pumping out of there. That's their response.
And we can't force him into it, you can't take him to court and make him do something, or possess, not that we want to possess it, but is there any way you could strong arm and make him do the right thing?
They'll tell you their answer. The answer they told me is, the town should take it over and we'll give you the $4.5 million. Who wants that
No,
headache?
we don't want that.
So, that's the answer.
All right, well, I will be making phone calls.
Thank you, appreciate it. Anyone else? No? All right, can I have a motion to close town board meeting October 24th, 2024?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.